So, Nigel and Kevin, we are deep in the throes of the holiday season. I'm assuming you've already started, maybe you're done watching Christmas movies, but I just want to ask, what have you watched so far? What are your top hits, Kevin?
Start the classics. Love Christmas Vacation. My boys now are old enough where they can watch it, albeit maybe they shouldn't be watching it, but it's definitely their favorite, and so it's one we're drawn into. And then, of course, we watch Elf and Home Alone. Those three movies, by far the tops for my family.
Home Alone is a new one. My daughter just turned 8, and she's terrified of every movie, and she thinks Home Alone is hilarious and not the least bit scary. I have no idea where that came from. And Nigel, what are some of your favorites?
Well, so I'm going to give you 3 movies. I think there's a chance you're going to say, I've never heard of any of those movies. So these are 3 movies, maybe not for your kids, because the right answer is always White Christmas at Christmas, kids. If it's probably one of the top 10 movies of all time. So if you don't have White Christmas on your list is clearly broken. But I want to give you 3 movies you may never have seen that have Christmas themes that might be maybe for you and your partner, and you sit down with a glass of wine and the kids have gone to bed. So the first one is called The Holiday. And it's Jack Black, and it's a whole bunch of Cameron Diaz, and great cast. An American and a Brit swap homes and swap lives. And it's a really sweet film, great one. Another one, by the way, they all have the same words in these films. The Last Holiday, Queen Latifah, gets a medical diagnosis that is a death sentence. Or is it? And what does she do with her money?
I'm just going to blow it.
Again, great. And we have a cinema in the building I live in, and we all watched last night, Last Christmas, which is Emily Clark, written and created by Emma Thompson, based on the sort of song by George Michael. So there are 3 Christmas movies you may never have seen before, but you could nuzzle up to your partner and watch those this Christmas break.
I will see if we can fit those in between viewings of Elf. That apparently just is all we need in our home. That runs on repeat.
Well, we did internally in Bravas. We did a bracket. I don't know who organized the bracket. I think it was you, Keith. It was a disaster. I mean, no other way to describe it, because White Christmas got voted down. Love Actually got voted down. I mean, for what?
Almost
Christmas Vacation? I mean, really?
It was a little unfair, because I understand why people argue that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, but I'm pretty sure that's the one that took out White Christmas, which you're right, that is probably pretty tragic. No, I think it's funny because you mentioned White Christmas, which, having seen it in the past, I thought my kids would have zero interest in it. And as much as I say they just want to watch Elf, both my 3-year-old and 8-year-old ask for White Christmas almost every night. And my 3-year-old daughter has been going up to our Alexa and constantly asking it to play the Sister Sister song. So, I mean, like they really love it. That one has stood the test of time. We haven't let them watch Die Hard yet, which I'm sure they would prefer, but we'll get there.
No, I think White Christmas, and then when they get a bit older, Singing in the Rain, and you've really got all your bases covered for 1950s MGM musicals, which are the best of all cinema. But other than that, Keith, what are you watching when you sit down with your partner? What are you going to be watching?
I wish I could say that my wife and I actually get to sit down and watch Christmas movies without the kids, but Kevin named some of them. We have watched so far this year White Christmas multiple times, Elf multiple times, The Polar Express, or as my 3-year-old calls, The Bad Train. She loves that one. That one's been pretty popular. The Grinch. They love The Grinch. The newer one. The older one, I think.
Animated one.
The older animated one. Sorry, the original animated one keeps my 8-year-old's interest, but not the younger one. The newer animated one, they are just both riveted. The bad thing is one of them cheers for the Grinch and one of them cheers against it, so it causes some pillow fights, but it's all in good fun, I'm sure.
If you had a great home theater, is there a movie in that selection we talked about you would say to show off your home theater? I mean, what's the movie that would do that, do you think?
Besides Die Hard, you mean?
Well, Die Hard might be quite a good one because of surround around,
Absolutely. You get all the explosions, the gunfights, the language that we can't repeat on this podcast. You get it all, right? So it's fantastic for that. I'd also say that some of the newer animated films are truly remarkable when it comes to how they master audio. And so, Keith, as you talk about the new Grinch, it's incredible. Visually, the colors pop and they just look incredible. Yes. And it has great sound in it. And so, as difficult as that may be for people that don't have children to watch, it's a great experience if you do put time into watching.
I mean, people can say they don't like it. It's pretty fun. I will say the Polar Express, we watched that in the theater, and that shook the whole house when the train comes through. It actually, I think my kids watched it downstairs and weren't very scared of it. They watched it in the theater and they were scared. So I guess that says that it's doing something.
All right, so
and is there a movie you would never watch again? Is there a Christmas movie that you would never watch again?
My family is A Christmas Story. Like, we just don't watch
that.
Yeah. I'm not from these shores, as you know, and I don't get A Christmas Story at all. I guess if you watched it when you were 400 years ago, but I don't get
nostalgia that comes along with it.
Yeah. It's not what it used to be, nostalgia.
It has so many memorable, quote-worthy scenes.
Fragile. It must be Italian.
But you put it all together and watch it, and it's just not a great movie. Like, the leg lamp scene's hilarious. Him getting his tongue stuck, shoot your eye out. They're all classic scenes, but it does not. It's like just a book of quotes. Doesn't make a great read. That's kind of what that is. It's just like a bunch of little snippets that when you put them all together, it's not a great movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we've given people some ideas of something to watch this Christmas, but I know we all wish everybody, thank you for following along the Bravas Luxury Living channel. Thanks for being part of our family, and from all of us, happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.